Welcome back to Gold is Where You Find It, and it's time for another hour of raw and unedited gold prospecting footage. And today, I'm back at Yahoula Creek Park in Dahlonega, Georgia. It's been a while since I hit up this spot, and not since the flood that we had from Hurricane Helene. So you never know what we're going to find. And my past experiences, heavy floods can take areas that used to have really good gold and push it downstream, and then the spot that used to be good isn't that great. So we're going to find out if that's the case today. So smash the like button and let's get to it. And I've got over here everything ready to go. I've got a 1/4-inch classifier, and I've got my giant trash can lid pan, as what my buddy Jeff calls it, but it's a 17-inch Proline pan, so it helps us run quite a bit of material per pan. So hopefully we can get some good gold that way. And I'm going to start by this little gravel bar right here. Let me flip the camera around. And that looks like the spot right through here. So I'm going to start by getting some of this gravel and seeing what it looks like. So let me go ahead and go to the wide angle lens and see what we can find. I usually have luck pretty close to the bank over here. I don't know if that's going to be the case today or not, but we're going to find out. So let's go ahead and fill up a pan and get started. Oh, there's a Giro spider on my shovel. All right. I'm going to try to do as many full pans as we can. At the end of the hour, then we'll do a little cleanup and just see kind of what it's looking like before we move on to the next hour, which is going to be tomorrow's video. Let me see if we have a good enough angle so that I can classify and dig without having to move the camera 10,000 times. And then of course we'll pan it on camera as well and then show you what we got on camera. So let's go ahead and look at that. I think that's going to work. We can probably dig in classifier right there. No problem. So I think that's going to work out just great. This is the first time of the year that I've busted out my waders because it's been warm enough where you basically go swimming. And today it's going to be over 80 degrees as well, but this morning it was 44. So I figured I'd wear the waders and stay a little bit warmer. The water, it still kind of feels like bath water, to be honest. Here in Georgia, mid-October, pan holds a lot of material. So it takes several times to fill it up. And as we move up and down this bank, we'll try to find where the best pans are. Should be able to get some pretty good gold. Maybe we can hit that nice goopy layer. It's got clay mixed in it. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's like bathwater still. I love this classifier with the handles. All right, that's 4 shovels in this pan. See how many we can fit in this thing. At least 6. For good measure, let's get one more. 7 shovels per pan. That's pretty good. There we go. That's a nice one. Nice one to finish it off. Bath water. It's warmer than the air for sure. Oh yeah, I call that a full pan. Definitely. Now I do have a stool today. I get yelled at for being hard on my back by some of the viewers. So, let's see here. That looks pretty good. And we'll go ahead and move the camera a little bit closer so you guys can see the panning a little bit better. Let me get my finishing pan because the gold at Yahula Creek Park is really small and this pan is really big. So it's a lot easier to concentrate the gold into one little spot to show you the results of every pan. And so let's get to it on pan number 1. Stratifying, creating a slurry so the denser things in my pan like gold and lead and iron can sink to the very bottom. Also lots of titanium here. We got hematite, we got magnetite, we got titanium. So that's mostly what our black sand consists of here. Other heavies that we have in here are, there's some garnets, not that many, and then there's also kyanite, which can be pretty blue little blades of kyanite. Sometimes we find those in here as well. Now this is a really big pan. It's a lot bigger pan than what most people use. But yeah, more material per pan. Theoretically, that's more gold. So that's why I like to use it. Definitely a two-handed pan. There's no one hand with this pan. Now when I get down to that last little bit of black sand, then I'll transfer the material to my finishing pan and then do the reveal. Now that's about the amount of material you can fit in a 10-inch pan. So, this calm water here is not really conducive to using a sluice box. So, and it's pan and shovel here in the park. Anyway, you can't use a sluice box here. The county Parks and Rec does not. They frown upon that. But even if I wanted to use a sluice, I really couldn't unless I had a pump. And you can see now it's mostly all black sand. Weather's beautiful out here today. It's probably 55 degrees right now, and the water's probably 75 degrees. Maybe not quite that warm, but warmer than the air. Or same temperature, I mean, for real. Sometimes you got to kind of make sure there's no sticky clay that's jamming up this bottom riffle here. Sometimes that happens, and that won't allow the gold to sink to the very bottom of the pan, so you don't want that. And that's about good. And now we can go to the 10-inch Garrett pan. This is my favorite pan for cleanups. Some people prefer cleanup pans with a larger bottom. Me personally, that's not the case. I like this thing. I like it a lot. Been using that as my exclusive cleanup pan for quite some time. Now, some pans have a ridge at the bottom. I like the one that has this just angle here with no ridge. Makes it easier for me. Personal preference is all it is. Now, a good pan out here is over 100 colors. So if we don't have over 100 colors, we should probably move a few feet to one side or the other. Tons of black sand out here. Mica. I thought a piece of gold fell out. The mica here can be really gold. So if you just smash it with your fingers, or, I mean, it's also really light. And it's impossible to get 100% capture rate with this very, very small gold when you pan. So I take all this black sand home instead of just exclusively using a snuffer. Now, some of the other spots I've been after the flood, they used to have a lot of small gold, have less small gold, and chunkier pieces show up. So maybe we'll get some chunkier pieces today. That would be quite nice. I would really enjoy that, and I'm sure you all would too. I like to pull some of these bigger, heavy rocks out of the way before I do the reveal. It makes it a lot easier. All right, that's probably good though. All right, let's take a look at pan number 1 and see what that's looking like. And those of you that aren't new know how that I use a shaker table action to push the denser things over to the side that I'm tapping. Makes it easier to do that reveal. Then I tilt up slightly. Then I pull it back like this. And we got lead shot. So that's a good sign for a bigger gold. And that's a decent pan right there for our first pan of the day. Let's go ahead and zoom in on that. Look at that. That's a fair amount of colors, but that's not the best pan ever, but here's more actually behind it coming up. But I'll take that for one pan all day. But we can definitely do better than that. We definitely can. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in my Tom's bucket over here. And I save that black sand to take home. But let's see if we can do better than that. So let's take our next pan from just a little bit over from where we just were. So there's where my shovel is, right there. I'm gonna come just to the side a little bit to the next pan. This gravel's seeming kind of loose. It's not as, I don't know, and I'm not seeing a lot of clay in it. So my suspicion is this pan is going to be not as good. I'm kind of already set on the fact that this pan isn't going to be great because these rocks look pretty clean already. And I don't see any kind of clay mixed in with it. So that's usually not the best sign. Gold mining is often nicknamed washing rocks. And if the rocks are already clean, it's kind of hard to wash them. I'm usually after sticky material, and this ain't very sticky. But sometimes you get surprised. It's definitely a workout, y'all. Definitely a workout. I like to see clay, and I'm not seeing it right here. So, still got to test it. We got 6 scoops that time. And let's find out what's in it. I'm using my legs as an anchor. Helps me move this heavy pan around. It's heavy. In this calmer, deeper water here, you don't hear the sounds of the rushing water, which I find pretty soothing myself. So a lot quieter out here. We can just listen to the birds. Sweating already. Be taking this sweatshirt off for too long. Check to make sure the riffle's not jammed up, which there's no clay in this pan really, so it wasn't. One thing I see a lot is people refer to these as riffles with a P, and that's actually not correct. It's riffles. R-I-F-F-L-E. Also, people call a sluice box a sleuth with a T-H at the end, and it's a sluice box. S-L-U-I-C-E. All right, time for the 10-inch Garrett. A little bit bigger heavies in here. A little bit more kyanite. A little bit more in the garnets. These little black ones, they're not pretty or anything, but they are heavy. Let's see, how's that look? Close enough for us to do the reveal on pan number 2. And this pan's better, I think. I do think so. See that? But we can still do better. I don't know how many pieces of gold you think that is, but it ain't 100. It's a lot though. I mean, most people would love to have that pan, but it just goes right back into the cons bucket right over here. And for pan number 3, let's go upstream a tiny bit. That's going to require me to move the camera just a little bit. Oh, right there is fine. That'll be fine. All right. I don't like to stray too far from the bank, but let's keep going. Since pan number 2 seems a little bit better than pan number 1, logically speaking, let's go one more from right here, a little further from the bank. We'll find out if that's a good idea or not. But I'm going to be here for several hours today. So throughout the course of the day, I'll figure out where the best pans are. I'm not on goopy material, so that's going to tell me possibly to move. Goopy and sticky material to me seems to have the best gold. Getting a little stickier. It's almost like doing deadlifts. Bending over, picking up this heavy thing. Okay. All right. Pan number 3. We're about halfway in to the stream, so let's try to get 6 pans in, which would be about 36 shovels. That's pretty good for an hour. And the reason I repeatedly do this thing called stratification here, because the gold can start to creep up when you're panning, so you want to repeatedly make it sink to the bottom. What I usually find out here is the closer to the bank you are, the more tiny flower gold you get. The further away from the bank you get, you got to dig deeper, but the pieces might get bigger. But usually I get less gold overall digging closer to the middle. But we're just going to test around. We're going to find out. See if we can find the pay streak. Find how deep it is, find out how far from the bank it is, and then follow it. That's the idea. Okay. Oh, don't do that, please. And continue panning it down. I'm gonna just forget trying to pan out the chunkier heavies and just do the reveal. Save me a little time. Oh, wow. Now this, yeah, that's the best pan. Best pan so far. Let's go in for a look at that. I think so. I do believe so. That's the best pan so far. Let me go ahead and zoom back out. Oh yeah. And there's more coming behind it as we continue to tap it up. Okay, so yeah, definitely qualifies as the best pan of the day. You could see, and that's why we take all these cons home, because look, there's a bigger piece all the way back there. Well, not bigger, but all right. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that, and so maybe we try one more over. How about that? We'll try to come over just a little bit further. and see if it's better or worse. If it gets worse, then we try to move deeper in the best hole and see if it gets better or worse. And so you just kind of work your way back and forth, side to side, up and down until you find that streak. So let's find it. And we'll go ahead and make our trench a little bit wider here. Try to hone in on that pay streak so we can maximize today's gold take. That's what we're after. Hey, fishy. There's like 30 or 40 fish that size swimming right through here. So we know there's good gold out here. We just got to find out where the best gold is. Get those rocks nice and clean. Kind of surprised how little clay there is over here. Usually there's more in this general area. I've never worked this exact spot before. Yeah, definitely like a deadlift. Clean rocks. One more good scoop. I really wonder how much these full pans weigh. They're not light. Okay. There we go. My stool is sinking deeper. I don't want it deeper. There we go. All right. Kind of keep my butt out of the water as much as I can. And continue the panning process. Already working up a sweat. Time for the sweatshirt to come off after this pan. we go. Swish it over to the side and splash it in. Pan it the rest of the way down. It's about good. Okay, let's do the reveal. Let's do the reveal. Whew, sweaty. Let's hope for a picker. Oh, I saw some gold there. It's pretty good. There's a bigger piece, you can see that. But let's see if we can pull it back some more. I mean, it's pretty good. I'm not complaining about the number of pieces of gold in this pan at all. What about y'all? Okay, so is it better or worse than the last pan? I would put it on par. I put it on par with the last pan. So you know what that means? That means we continue to head towards the middle and see what happens. Is it going to get better or worse? Let's find out. Eventually it'll get worse. But that hasn't happened quite yet. So until it does, we keep going towards the middle. They call it trenching. Obviously, you can tell why. Trench prospecting. Clean rocks. Oh, I forgot. This is coming off. Woo! Let's go. The fish keep going back to where I'm at. Every time I walk away, they come right back. Clean rocks. 2 more. All right, guys, move back out of the way. Here I come, fishies. Man, this gold mining stuff's a lot like work. Back at it. Time for the next pan. Whew, we're gonna have a good tailings pile here in a little bit, huh? Good. Spreading that thing out. Kind of a repetitive process, huh? So at the end of the hour, we're going to pan through all that black sand we've collected so far and see what we've got for the hour. Then we can kind of compare visually hour 1 to hour 2 to hour 3 to hour 4 to hour 5 to hour 6, because that's about how long I'm going to be digging today. About 6 hours of grueling work here. Okay. Maybe at the end here, I'll try doing a pan of my tailings, just to see how much I'm losing every time I'm panning. I really wish I had a high banker out here, but to be honest, a lot of this gold is so small, I think your capture rate would be pretty darn low with that much flow. So let's see what we think about the quality of this pan. Don't see any pickers or nuggets. That's all right. That's not what we're after. We're after gold. If you get a picker or a nugget, that's just kind of a bonus. We're trying to prospect, find the pay streak. Well, this place right here in and of itself is a pay streak. But within a pay streak, there's richer pay streaks. All right, so let's check it out. Lots of fish out here today, y'all. Oh yeah. Okay, so there I think we got a little bit less. It's kind of hard to tell because that right there is amalgam. So we got mercury mixed in with our gold here. So it still might be just as good of a pan, but because of that, I'm going to stop continuing going towards the middle. And I'm gonna scoot back one and go down a little further. If that's not better than what we had in that hole last time, then we'll go up or down, upstream or downstream. All right, so back to right here. And can you continue down? And if it's better down, then we keep going down until it gets worse. Watch out, fishies. Washing rocks. And those rocks are clean. I first learned about this technique of trenching like this from Ask Jeff Williams. I'll try to find that video and see if I can share it. I think Dan Hurd may have done a video on it as well. There we go. Now we're starting to get deeper. I worked pretty hard yesterday too, so really burning some calories out here. This hobby is one of the best workouts of any hobby I've ever heard of. I mean, people do mountain climbing. I guess that's probably a pretty good workout. Woo. All right. And continue. See if going deeper is better or worse. If it's not better or worse, then I guess we'll start going upstream. I mean, of course it's going to be better or worse. If it's not better, then we go upstream. If it's the same, we can continue to go down. Everything I've learned is not from only experience, it's from watching other YouTubers like Ask Jeff Williams, Chris Ralph, the professional prospector. He's another one I've learned a lot from. If you like classroom style videos. Mountain Baker Mining and Metals. Another great resource, especially for hard rock mining. And once again, over to the finishing pan. If we see a picker or a nugget, it'll probably pop out when I'm doing this transfer. And I didn't see one. This is one of those places where you can get weighable gold in an hour. Even without a bigger piece. Weighable flour. That's probably good. All right. Whew. Oh my gosh, we're over an hour. Wow, I was just going like crazy. Lost track of time. We're an hour and 3 minutes in. So this is our last pan. And then we'll do a little cleanup. And then we'll continue our experiment in the next hour. And that's looking pretty good. Okay, so the next move to start off the next video is definitely to go deeper. Definitely to continue deeper, because that's still pretty good. Still pretty darn good. Okay, it's cleanup time. Cleanup time. Okay, so we're just gonna take all of these cons from the whole hour that we've been here, transfer them into here, and pan it all out at once. And this will show us how much gold we've got in this episode. So whenever I'm panning concentrates, I don't pan them straight into the water. I pan them into a catch pan, because I know I don't have a 100% capture rate. Let's make sure that the camera's, yeah, you can see. Got a good angle here, so. I got on a roll there and lost track of time. But this should be a pretty decent 1 hour cleanup. So that amalgam might coalesce into a ball. So it's either going to look like a really nice line of flour gold, or it's going to look like a ball of mercury amalgam. Hopefully it's a line of flour gold, because that mercury will suck up the gold into a ball. And then you have to separate it using a retort or nitric acid. And we're not trying to do perfect cleanups here, because we're taking all this home and we're going to clean it up in a live stream from the house. All right, let's see if we can get some of these bigger rocks out of the way here. Garnets and kyanite. Make it a little harder to tap up the small gold. That's good. All right. Y'all ready for the reveal to finish out the hour? I am. I am. Let's go. Hour and 7 minutes is what we've got of raw and unedited gold prospecting footage. And look at that, before I even pull it back, let's well, that's about what we've got in an hour. And I am not mad at that. I don't know about y'all, but that's an hour worth of gold I'm happy with. I'm happy with that. Sweet. So, that's going to do it for another hour of raw and unedited gold prospecting footage. Hope you enjoyed it. We're getting ready to do another episode that's going to come out tomorrow. So make sure when you subscribe that you smash the bell notification icon and select all, so you won't miss the release of the next hour. But if you'd smash the like button as well, leave a comment, consider joining to become a member for members-only content and members-only giveaways. And if you could also check out my merch store at goldiswhereyouFindIt.com, I would really appreciate it. Everything that you buy supports the channel. So tune in tomorrow. But for now, I'll see you next time.